So today, I have brought a very specific and unique couplet from Swarved. Swarved, which was written by Sadhguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj. This is more linked to us as an attachment and detachment. And here, Sadhguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj has given a very specific example of a specific fish, how that fish lives on a day-to-day basis, and how we have to do similarly. That's what in this particular couplet he has explained. So let me first read out the couplet and then I will explain with the meaning. So this is from 4th canto, 10th chapter, 8th couplet. What Sadhu Sadafal Devji Maharaj says, Meen ek dal dal rahe, वाको दल दल नाही, और जाय फस मरत है, त्यों रहस्य जनमा. It's very simple, and very simply it has been mentioned that there is a very specific fish. I don't know the name of the fish, but the characteristic of that fish is very unique. What it does, this particular fish lives in a swamp, but it doesn't get trapped in that swamp. It doesn't. That's the characteristic of that fish. It can move along here and there in that particular marsh, no problem at all. But if another fish goes in that marsh or in that swamp, that fish will get trapped into it because that fish doesn't know how to swim or how to move from one part to another of that swamp. So this particular fish has the unique characteristic to live in or move into that swamp. So what Sadhguru Sadafal Devji Maharaj want to say here is, similar to that special ship, a householder saint do not get entrapped in the attachment of these worldly items. That means the Maya. Those type of saints actually find himself connected throughout consciously with the God without being confused or doing things here and there. That's what this particular couplet says. Let me come to here the point, how we are leading our life on our day-to-day basis. What is happening? In our day-to-day life, we have been doing lots of different type of works, activities, where our sense organ, our mind, our body, our thought process, our intellect, everything is getting engrossed into it. But more importantly, are we attached to whatever we are doing or whatever we have? Are we? We need to learn a technique to be even in this swamp, the worldly item, whatever we have right now. Let's consider in the spiritual world, it's called Maya. It's called the swamp, which will keep you trapped into it. Despite being in that, we need to learn the technique how to move around even in this trapped swamp. And that can be achieved. That technique is to be learned through Vihangam Yoga. And in fact, Vihangam Yoga technique, Vihangam Yoga meditation technique empowers us to get that ability to be detached, not to be attached with this swamped world. That's what this particular couplet mentions and teaches us. The path of spirituality for those who live in family should be similar to these fishes. And in fact, there is one more fish. Sadhu Sadafal Devji Maharaj has mentioned in Swarved at one place that there is another fish which can climb in the water in the upward direction in a fall. So suppose there is a fall of water and that particular fish can go in the upward direction in that fall itself. It has that kind of characteristics. So these two types of fishes, one which is very much capable enough to move inside a swamp, not get trapped to, and other fishes would get trapped to that swamp. That is one. And second one is the fish which can climb in the upward direction against the gravity in that difficult fall of the water also. So these two examples represents our life, or you can say a life of a saint. Being in this worldly life where there are so many distractions, there are so many attachments involved, a saint, the life of a saint can be very much similar to these two types of fishes. But both of these two are technique to live in that environment. And Vihangam meditation helps us to achieve all those characteristics and criteria through practice and the blessings of the master himself. So regular practice of Vihangam meditation cleans us from inside, and it really hits to the root. Since we are not completely perfect, we are not completely clean from inside. That's why all these problems happen to us related with attachment, related with this worldly life. But Vihangam meditation hits to the root cause of all these things. And let us learn the technique to not to be trapped in this worldly movements, and let us empower ourselves to free from this trap where we are right now. Thank you very much for listening today.